Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the SH Monsterarts Rathalos 20th Anniversary Edition based on the creature from the Monster Hunter game franchise. And this set is manufactured by Bandai Tamashii Nation. Before we take the figure out, let's first check out the details we can see from the case. And on the front cover here, we already have the picture of the main figure. And as you can see, it's a dragon-like creature that's very well crafted to its likeness based on the way the creature looks from the movie, and looks like there's gonna be a effect parts, that is the fireball Rathalos breeze. And on the side we got another picture of the figure from different angle. And the identical picture on this side. And on the back, again, we'll show several different pictures to demonstrate to us, like all SH Monsterarts figure. This one should have great articulation that allow you to put on several different kind of poses, or maybe even all kinds of poses you would want for this fearsome creature to put on any way you wanted to display it at. And it has pretty much a very big wingspan, like the way you see it from the front cover. And apparently the special part of this set is that it includes a display base that marks the Monster Hunter 20th anniversary. And this is like when Rathalos is on the ground, when he has his wings kind of closed up. And of course we have like a stand that can set up so we can kind of put on the displays of Rathalos shooting out the fireball from his mouth. And now let's get the dragon out. So here we have the entire figure kind of just wrapped in the whole plastic case here. It's actually several layers of plastic, which you can take the pieces one layer out one by one. So it looks like this first layer, we have the wings, the fireball effect part, and the rest is like the pieces that you put on the display stand together. And here we have the Rathalos figure itself. So, and looks like this interchangeable wing pieces, and these apparently are the default wing pieces that basically it's for like Rathalos pose when he has his wings kind of close up when he's like on the ground. And what you're seeing here and these two extra pieces here are what you can exchange for like when Rathalos wings are completely opened up and to like flying in the sky. And inside the case we also have like this instruction manual here. It's actually showing us how you can assemble the display stand together and how you would set Rathalos on it. And this is a like kind of hall. with the clamp for the support arm can just hold the wings of Rathalos in place. And this is, of course, the fireball effect part, which is also supported by its own small display stand, which you can just put in front of Rathalos to simulate the fire-breathing appearance. And here's the instruction telling you how you can just replace the wing parts for the flying pose. And you can also adjust the display stand so that it can be modified to hold the Rathalos flying pose or display form. And now let's first get Rathalos figure itself out of the case. So whenever you're opening these plastic cases from the SH Figuarts or the SH Monsterarts series, it's very important to know that you have to open up these cases slowly and carefully, because the accessory inside the case could be be sent flying if you just simply rip them off. But in this case, this is the main figure itself with no small pieces inside, so this one we can worry a little less. And we have the plastic film covering the figure up, and usually the presence of these plastic is indication that the figure set is brand new when you first opened it. And there's several of them. And here we go. And now let's first have a close look at how beautifully this figure is crafted before we start exploring the other features of this figure. So, looks like the eyes of this Rathalos looks kind of very, see under light, it's like it's glowing, very refractive. And we have this very bat-like or reptilian-like wings. With spikes on the top of the wings here. Some strong chest muscle here, and a pair of eagle-like talons and legs, scorpion-like tail. This is some very realistic masterpiece crafting here. So that's a very well designed OSH Monsterarts figure. As you can see, even without utilizing the display stand, this default form is a very good pose for Rathalos. I mean, again, if you put it on display like this, it can still give very intimidating form of display. But of course, it's kind of loose, and it actually may feel like you're looking at probably a dragon going to rest mode. So if you want to make a better and more fierce-looking display, you really need to utilize the display stand. And now let's start checking out this figure's articulation. So let's first check out the wings. So it can open up like this, but without utilizing the alternate wing parts, it doesn't. It's like just kind of big gap here. So this is for this alternate piece to be put on. The same thing on this other wings. All the visible joints, it's very articulated. Although it looks like the challenging part in moving this figure is that there's so many spiky part on this figure, so if you don't move carefully, you could end up just keep getting yourself scratched. So the shoulder part, you can rotate to adjust the angle of the wings. So even if you're doing like the ground mode for the Rathalos here, you can also like move up the angle of the wing so that it can put on some kind of intimidation display on the ground. And the tail is very posable and articulated. You can like kind of move it almost any direction you want. Although, as you can see, it's also detachable, so you want to be careful. So pretty much its entire body can bend downward, but again, you want to do it carefully when you do those, otherwise you can end up just detach them all. And the neck here, it's also very articulated. It can look like about 45 degrees to left and right. And very articulated legs as well. But again, with all these articulation, especially with smaller parts of the figure, you want to be careful. If you kind of move, bend too hard, you could like dislocate a lot of these pieces. So you can set up a pose where like Rathalos is kind of grabbing a target, like how an eagle snatched its prey like fishes from this water. And looks like I've accidentally detached a wing piece here, but it's again, this piece is meant to be detachable, but you have to put it back, and now you just accidentally pull them off as well. So this is both like a strength and weakness. So even though it's very articulated, its joints are also easily dislocated if you press them too hard. But because of these set structure, it's not really gonna be broken. You can always just put them back. So, which is a strange ups and downs to work with. And finally, the Rathalos head here. The jars, you can open it up, and here's the tricky part because its throat can get in the way of its jar here, so you have to push it all the way. Now you can have it fully, you can have the jar fully open up like this now. Again, under good lighting, you can see like this Rathalos eyes is so burning, so bright, glowing, very bright, and with the jars open like that, it's a very intimidating display. So by utilizing those articulation, even without the display stand and the alternate wing pieces, you can still have Rathalos kind of standing up on its legs and supported by its tail like this, and with the wings sort of open to like to make some kind of display, intimidation display here, although it's not as good looking. Now we have to assemble these pieces together to form the display stand and set Rathalos figure on it. But first, we have to remove these filling pieces from the display stand space here. And there's 3 more to remove. And now all the 4 pieces are gone. We just have to start putting these pieces on. This is gonna be the support that holds Rathalos' chest. This goes in. Okay, you can see it can be very slippery sometimes, so be careful. So this goes in the front, and these just simply go on the side. And now just kind of turn them a little bit. Now Rathalos will be set on this display stand. One little adjustment I have to make here. So this is supposed to be set this way. And now we have to set its chest in place. Yeah, again, it can be. It's not actually not its chest, but its lower body. So again, looks like this particular set I got has a kind of loose right wing. So and now we start putting the wings in place. So here you just have to put the piece of wing here, let it be clamped by the support arm here. That's one side in place, and here do the same. And there we go. We have like Rathalos here in his ground mode. One more thing we can do with Rathalos in this pose is to set up the fire breath effect, so it will stimulate the display of Rathalos breathing fire. Here's the fireball effect part and its support stand. So there's like a little hole on the fireball here. It's probably barely visible, but here it is. And again, just have to fit it into the stand. And now you have to open up Rathalos jar here. Again, its soul can get in the way. There we go. Putting it in good position, it'll look like the fireball is spit out from Rathalos jar or mouth. You can always use something to hold the fireball a little higher so it's better positioned for the display. So in this case, I'm using my model kit tools to set the fireball a little higher, so this way it's a little more like how the fireball is shot from Rathalos' mouth. And with this, we have covered all the basic feature for this figure for its ground mode. Now let's start changing the wing pieces and set up the flying pose. Here we have the alternate wing pieces, and now we just have to detach the default wing pieces and replace them with these. So here again, this right wing is a bit loose. Now we put the alternate pieces on. And here we go. And now we're gonna set Rathalos on the stand after making some changes. And now to modify the stand, we have to first pull out this part here. And then we're gonna attach this and this goes here now. Now to put Rathalos on here, we have to first straighten up these clamps. And now we have to bend Rathalos back. And stabilize him on here. Yeah, the wing's a little problem. I'll put that on later, but first let's the tail will be set here. I'm gonna reattach the other wing. There, the wing is reattached. And now we have Rathalos flying display pose complete. Now, in this flying pose, it's kind of hard to put on a display with Rathalos breathing out the fireball because in this set, there's no inclusion of any support display structure that can hold the fireball high enough by itself to to emulate the angle that would be consistent with the fireball coming out of Rathalos' mouth. But if you can find the compatible display stand like one I have here, it would be much easier to do just that, to make it look like Rathalos is breathing out the fireball. So it's not impossible, you just need to find a right equipment to help you do it. And in good angle, you can see it's like exactly like the fireball coming out of Rathalos' mouth. And if you doing good job, concentrate enough light, you can see like Rathalos' eyes burning, glowing, and with a fireball. So it'd be really bright if you like really fiery if you can set up in good enough control environment for the effect. With that, we have covered all the basic features of this set, but before I go on to my final review, I want to show everyone one more thing. Here we have the original edition of the SH Monsterarts Rathalos. This was the very first version made of Rathalos by Tamashii Nation. Well, this was the second one. And so on a quick view, you can pretty much tell both of this figure are pretty much identical, with the difference being that the 20th anniversary edition has different color painted. It's like more reddish, or its color is a little more blood red. Well, in the original edition, the color is a little lighter. And also the black in the 20th edition is darker. But beyond this difference in the coloring and this minor appearance difference, There's nothing that's at all different between this set with another, except in the original edition, we don't have the fireball effect part. Instead we have this removable fire effect piece. As you can see, it can be put on there to show the display of fire coming out of Rathalos' mouth. So it's a kind of alternate kind of version of fire breath. Let's see if it can be put on the new edition. There we go. So they are compatible. And again, under good lighting, the fire effect and Rathalos' eyes is showing really strong burning appearance. The last two differences, of course, in the 20th anniversary edition, we have the display stand base showing the writing, the 20th anniversary, and the fireball effect part. So, which means if you already have the original SH Monsterarts of Rathalos, you're gonna have to think hard if it's worth collecting the second one, which again, in terms of design, is pretty much identical, with the difference being this one's probably redder and it's some of its black markings are darker. If you want to have the fireball effect part to be able to put on the fire breathing display instead of just fire just coming out of the Rathalos' mouth like in the original edition. And of course, if you're a greedy collector who likes to have all the versions of his favorite monsters, such as myself, you can collect both. But obviously, in the terms of cost effectiveness, you're gonna have to think hard on these minor differences and decide what you want. And there's no any actual improvement in this newer edition at all. Both Monsterarts, while very well crafted and have a very strong articulation, but the unfortunate fact remains that this figure's articulation is kind of next to useless because it's not very structurally strong. Its flexibility kind of leads to a lot of structural weakness. Unlike most Monsterarts, who can function rather well without the display stand, this one is very largely dependent on it. So you can, at least it'll be very difficult or challenging for you to try to put on a fighting display or pose with other Monsterarts, and without this stand at all, you're not gonna be able to put on this wing, his wing with Rathalos' wings fully expanded flying pose, and the fire breathing pose you saw from the set box. It's really not implausible because you have to set Rathalos on the surface and with these expanded wings, and so it might be doable, but very difficult because you're gonna have to find some structure that can hold the wings in place, and this stand themselves definitely won't be able to do that. So the best you can put on the fire breathing effect is pretty much the same way I do here. Find something that can hold the fireball on the ground, I mean in the mid-air. so that it can like look like he's flying. He has got his wings open and shooting out the fireball. And overall, it's a rather than like a single action figure, this is more like a model kit that's well crafted but with relatively loose structure. That's like it makes like this figure some sort of transforming model that has like a ground mode and a flying mode, and with effect parts to make it look good. But again, of course, it's a structural issue. Although it's very possible it just happened to be my bad luck. I purchased a defective one. Maybe most other figure of this one make will be better than this one with no structural issue. But ultimately, it's how well it's crafted, its articulation, and its accessory allows it to put on a very good display for the monster character it's based on. And if you are a fan of Rathalos or just any kind of dragon lover, this should be good collection for you. This marks the end of my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel. And please check out other videos from my channel. And if you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.